After having nothing but mostly wonderful weather for our epic motorcycle ride to Big Bend, on Saturday, May 13th, the last day of our 6-day ride, my brother Clay, Will, and I faced a rainy return back to home. We arrived in San Angelo late Friday evening and checked into Pearl on the Concho Hotel. After we washed up and rested, we Ubered over to a quirky little restaurant where my brother treated us for a wonderful celebratory meal. Thank you, Clay. But just as we were leaving, the sky let out a torrential downpour, and the Uber driver had to drive through flash-flooded streets to get us back to the hotel. The rain continued through the night, and the crew woke up to gray skies and light rain. None of us were too excited about riding home through the rain, but the forecast called for thunderstorms the whole weekend, so waiting it out didn't seem like much of an option. Clay left for Dallas first. Will and I left about an hour later. We encountered heavy rain between San Angelo and Eden. Now, this area of Texas is mostly open farmland, so there was no underpass or gas station to seek cover from. So we just pushed on. When we got to Eden, we stopped at the Mexico City Cafe to dry off, warm up, and get something to eat. We hung out there for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, until we had a break in the rain. The next town was Brady, only 32 miles away on US 87. And then this happened. Cresting a hill, I hit a slick patch and my rear wheel slid out from underneath me, dropping me hard on the asphalt. Here's the back view, and you can see me sliding on the pavement. Whee! I was wearing my gear, of course, which did its job. EMS checked me out, and luckily I was able to get back up with only a couple of bruises and a little road rash. Unfortunately, my Sport Glide didn't fare as well, with lots of damage to the clutch side, including rupturing the derby cover and dropping all of its oil out onto the road. After 45 minutes of phone wrangling with Geico in the rain, trying to get my bike towed back to Austin, 130 miles away, I gave up and hung up. The kind state trooper who let me shelter in his car called a local company who towed my bike into Brady. He then gave me this junior trooper badge to cheer me up. Thank you, trooper. While I was waiting on the tow truck, Will got on the Yamaha and rode back to Austin. There, he hitched the bike trailer to the truck and returned to Brady later that evening. Thank you, Will. The next morning, we loaded the bike up onto the trailer and towed it back to Austin. The bike is now at Cowboy Harley dealer, waiting for damage estimate and repairs. In retrospect, maybe we should have waited an extra night in San Angelo. I also realized I was probably going too fast for the weather conditions, but it was uncomfortable riding in the rain, and I was anxious to get back home. That clouded my judgment. While the ending was crap, the road trip was great, and I'm happy to be back home and feel lucky that it didn't end up much worse. Thank you, Jesus.